What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Big B, Brian Hanley. Welcome to Steelers Almighty Pittsburgh Steelers. This is the pregame show. Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Minnesota Vikings in Dublin, Ireland. It is an early kickoff, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, which is where I am. It is early, but Pittsburgh Steelers are ready to play. Now, want to come out early and got some bad news. Jalen Warren worked out early, and unfortunately, he is going to be out. He looked okay. I saw the reports, but apparently something wasn't right, and he is going to be out for this football game. It was something that popped up. He popped up on the injury report this week. He rested, goes out, goes to work out, and is not going to play in this football game. That is crucial for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number one, our run game has struggled regardless. The only even a little semblance of a running game last week was because Jalen Warren was making guys miss. That's not going to be there. In the pass game, you know about the pass protection that he brings to the table. He's incredible, but he also catching the ball out of the backfield. All of that gone in this game. Kenneth Gainwell obviously is going to get an opportunity, but here's the thing. I want to see what Mike Tomlin and the coaching staff does with Caleb Johnson and Trey Sermon. There's a lot of you guys out there that believe Trey Sermon is the best pure running back that the Pittsburgh Steelers have. Are they going to give Caleb Johnson an opportunity? And if they don't, what's that say about where he is with the Steelers? Because before the blunder of the kickoff against the Seahawks, Caleb Johnson wasn't really getting a whole lot of run. He got like 3 snaps. Okay. Well, now does he go to number 2 on the depth chart, or do they put Trey Sermon ahead of him? I'm going to be interested to see what the Steelers do. Like I said, a lot of you guys out there think that Trey Sermon is the best just pure runner. And maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I know he hasn't been able to find a solid footprint in the National Football League. Caleb Johnson is literally just getting started, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Do they trust Caleb Johnson in the pass game? That's going to be the thing. Are they going to trust him to pass protect against a team that's going to be bringing blitzes from all over the place? Do they trust Caleb Johnson to be in the right spot? Because if they don't, then they shouldn't put him out there. I can just tell you that right now. If they don't trust him to be where he's supposed to be with a defense that's going to bring a corner, a linebacker, twist, a safety, they're going to bring it from everywhere. If they don't trust him, then don't put him out there. I don't care about running the football. We got to pass protect first. And if he's not going to be able to do that, he can't be out there. It's just that simple. He just can't be out there. So we'll see what happens. But, this is what we talked about, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I said. This is what a lot of you guys said out there, is that once Jalen Warren, once the workload gets turned up, and last week, that's not turned up. He had 23 touches. That's not turned up. I'm sorry. That's not a huge workload in the National Football League. It just isn't. But now he's hurt. And for all of his faults, for all of his lack of vision, lack of explosion, and I know he got hurt last week, but Najee Harris never missed a game with Pittsburgh. He never got hurt. He wasn't fast. He wasn't explosive. He had bad vision a lot of times. But what he did do is he showed up. Here's Jalen Warren. We're 3 games in, or about to be 4 games in, and now he's out. That was always a lot of our fears, is that he's just not built for a starting running back position. It is what it is. It is what it is. So we got to find a way. So I'll be very interested to see what happens in that position today. But either way, Steelers got to find a way to win. They're not the only team banged up. Let's go through the inactives real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Joey Porter Jr., which most of us thought he's out. Jalen Warren, that's killer. Alex Highsmith, Andres Pete, and Asizi Adamaigbo, he is out. For the Vikings, Desmond Ritter's the third quarterback. J.J. McCarthy, we knew. Linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel. I think that's a big one. We probably considered or thought he'd be out, but he is. Walter Rouse. Donovan Jackson, starting guard. He's out. And then tight end Ben Yursek. He's also out. So there's some key pieces gone for both sides, but well, again, we got to monitor this running back situation for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be crucial. It's going to be crucial. But either way, I still feel good. I feel good about this opportunity. If the Pittsburgh Steelers can somehow find a way to protect and run the football, they're going to win the game. I think the Steelers. Here's the thing. The key matchup is the Steelers offensive line against the Vikings front seven, or just the Vikings defense in general, and the Steelers front seven against the Vikings offensive line. Whoever can control that the most is going to win, because I understand that the Vikings got back their left tackle, and he's really good, but that is not a good offensive line. It is not a good offensive line. The Pittsburgh Steelers have to be able to take advantage of that. Look, Keanu Benton, whoever's inside, Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson, Cole Holcomb, you guys have got to play better. It's just that simple. You cannot allow the Minnesota Vikings to line up and run the ball like the Patriots and just run the ball right through the middle of our defense. You cannot allow that to happen. You have got to play better. Just has to happen. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's got to be a better look by all of you guys. If it is, Steelers got a real chance. If it's the same as last week, the Steelers are not going to win. It's just that simple. Because while it can happen, I wouldn't be counting on 5 turnovers from the Minnesota Vikings. Now, again, it can happen. That can happen. I'm not saying it's impossible, because we just saw it last week. But the probability of that happening again in back-to-back weeks is not very high. And make no mistake about it, if the Steelers only create 3 turnovers last week against New England, they lose. So they needed every last one of those to win the football game. That can't be the case this week. You got to cover up the tight end. Look, TJ Hawkinson is banged up, but based on last week's performance by our linebacking core covering tight ends, how healthy does he have to be to run 8 yards down the field, turn around, and catch a football? Like that's all that New England kept doing. They were like, oh, okay, well, I'll just run here. I'll stop. I'll catch the ball. Or I'll block TJ Watt initially. They'll forget about me. I'll run 8 yards down the field. I'll turn around. I'll catch the football. So you don't have to be 100% to do what New England did last week with their tight end. You don't have to be. But now you throw in Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. You throw those guys in, and it's a problem. You got to get after the quarterback. You got to get after Carson Wentz. It's just that simple. Get after him with blitzes. Get after him with your front four. Get after him with everything. Mix up coverages, with the Steelers don't like doing a ton. They got to mix up coverages. But more importantly, you've got to get to the quarterback. You just got to do it, people. You got to do it. And if you can, you got a chance, because it's Wentz. Carson Wentz is not good. People talk about, well, he had a good game last week. That game was over by the end of the first quarter. So all that they were asking him to do, and not to mention it was the Bengals defense, they weren't asking him to do anything. He didn't have to do anything spectacular. The game was already over. So, okay. Well, make him have to do something. Make him look, Carson Wentz hadn't played a meaningful football game before that in 5 years. Make him have to do something. If you do, you got a chance. If you don't, Steelers are going to lose. It's not that complicated. It is literally not that complicated. Make Carson Wentz beat you, and if he does, then you tip your cap. But I don't think he can. That's my whole. I don't think he can. But now here's the thing: if you got guys running wide open, NFL quarterbacks, good or bad, are going to be able to complete passes to guys that are wide open. You know what I'm saying? So here I'm saying, hey, make him beat you, but making him beat you doesn't include having guys running free, being wide open, you know, because I don't care how bad a quarterback you are. If you've got guys that are wide open, they can complete those passes. Even under duress, they're going to complete those passes. So cover them, you know, and make him beat you. It's just that simple. The Steelers got an opportunity. They do. But that's the game plan. You win the line of scrimmage, you'll win the game. You don't win the line of scrimmage, you'll lose the game. It's that simple. And I would even take a stalemate. If the defense wins and the offense doesn't, I'll take that. Because then it comes down to intangibles. It comes down to special teams. And I'm going to put my bet on our special teams if it comes down to a stalemate, you know. But I think it's more important for the Steelers defense to stop their offense than our offense to stop their defense, because I'm not sure we're built to do that. We'll see. We got to have some semblance of a running game, even without Jalen Warren. We got to be able to do something. And here's my call to Arthur Smith. Change up the running philosophy. Every single run play doesn't have to be inside or outside zone. Like, call some gap schemes, call some counters, call some powers. Every single thing that we do is constantly inside and outside zone. How often do we have to say the Steelers' offensive line is not good at blocking inside or outside zone before we stop running it all the time? Is there a place for it? Yes, there is. But every run play doesn't have to be that. Run some power, run some counter, mix it up. You know, let guys run downhill and come off and move straight ahead, blocking guys. You know, if we can do that, I will be happy. But we got to mix it up. So Brandon said put James Pierre at running back. Everybody's a comedian. So Carnell Banks says Caleb Johnson breakout party. You know what? I couldn't be more happy if Caleb Johnson has a breakout game. Couldn't be more happy, because if the Steelers give him an opportunity, this is his chance. This is his chance. Now, I'm not positive that the Steelers are going to give him that opportunity, people. I'm not 100% positive that is going to happen. So I know a lot of people think, okay, it's time for Caleb Johnson to step up. I'm just not positive that they're going to do that. He is in a doghouse that, I mean, and deservingly so, but he's in a doghouse. He got no snaps last week, and he was active. So it's like, what's it going to take? And again, there's a ton of you out there that believe that Trey Sermon is a better pure running back than Caleb Johnson. I don't necessarily believe that. Look, Trey Sermon's been in the league for a few years now, and he hasn't been able to find a solid footprint in the National Football League. Okay. Caleb Johnson's a third-round pick. Now, he may not find that footing either. We don't know as of right now. But I'm just not sure the Steelers trust him enough to put him out there. That's my whole thing. Is like, do the Steelers trust Caleb Johnson just yet? I don't know. I really don't know, people. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm interested to see how they handle this running back situation now that Jalen Warren is out. Because if they don't give Caleb Johnson the opportunity, my first question is why? And second question is, did we miss? Because a third-round draft pick on a team that needed a running back, and it's the fourth game of the year. He was the number 3 running back, and now technically he's number 2. Why wouldn't he get the opportunities? But you got to be able to trust him. He's got to be in the right spot. Let's go. Appreciate all the members and everybody that's in here today. My main man, Robert Harrison, he says, If he has one fumble, the confidence is gone. I mean, if he fumbles the football, you don't have to worry about his confidence being gone. I can tell you that right now. If Caleb Johnson gets in the football game and he fumbles, I'm not sure he'll touch the football another time this season. That's how the Steelers and Mike Tomlin deal with rookies. Either you're ready to play or you're not. And if you're not, yeah, he better not fumble the football, because if he fumbles, that'll be his last carry of the season. I can assure you of that. I can assure you of that. Kenneth Miller, as bad as Caleb played that kickoff, you got to give the rookie a chance to build that confidence up. Now, see, that's where I'm at with it, Kenneth. I don't think he needs to be in that big of a doghouse. You know, I get it. It was a mistake. It was a costly mistake. And yes, we can say it. It cost the Steelers the football game. It did. It did. But do you want him to play for you or do you not? Because if him making a mistake that cost you a game means he can't play anymore, well, then just get rid of the guy. That would be my whole thing. But if you do want him to be able to contribute to your football team this year, you've got to give him an opportunity. That's where I'm at with it with Caleb Johnson. You got to give him an opportunity, because if you're not going to give him that opportunity, then just trade him to someplace and move on. But you can't have one mistake. And again, he cost the Steelers the football game. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. But if that's the difference, hey, he made a mistake, cost us the game, we're not playing him anymore. Well, then just move on. Just move on. And that would be a mistake to move on, but just do that and just get it done with. Go from there. That's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. So, DB Boy said, should have traded or drafted Scattaboo. But if Caleb wants any chance to play football the rest of the season, he better show up today. I agree. If Caleb Johnson gets the opportunity, and it's not just running the football, people, it's got to be in the pass game. A matter of fact, I think it would show up bigger in the pass game if he was in the right spot, picked up the right blitzer, got in guys' ways, caught the ball out of the backfield. I think that goes further today than him just running the football. I know we want to see him run the football. I want to see him in this gap scheme that the Steelers are just going to love and fall in love with and constantly run. But I think him in the passing game today is a bigger deal than in the run game. That's just my opinion. And as much as I want to see him run the ball, I think him showing up there is a bigger deal. And for all of those that think, well, Kenneth Gainwell now Kenneth Gainwell can't be a 25 touch a game guy. That shouldn't. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just saying it shouldn't happen. Mike Tomlin always talks about the division of labor. The division of labor needs to be divided. Let's just say that. Michelle says if they gave Caleb another chance and he fumbles, he'll be gone. Yeah, he won't play the rest of the year. If Caleb Johnson fumbles today, and he will not be on, he won't be in the backfield another snap. The Steelers will go bring in outside guys and come in. That's what will happen to Caleb Johnson. So this is his chance. If they give him a chance, they got to give him a chance. Robert Harrison, by him not playing this long, they have sent a message already, whether it's intentional or not. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. They've sent a message. Hey, man, you got to get better. We drafted you, and we expect you to be this, and you're not there. You got to be better. You got to be better. So, and this part about Kenneth Miller says Iowa not having him Caleb pass block or catch passes didn't help him in his development. That's true, but that's not the Steelers' fault. Now, you can say the Steelers shouldn't have drafted him. Okay. But that's not the Steelers' fault. That what Iowa did shouldn't factor into what's going on now. But, and DB Boy saying maybe they should have drafted somebody else. Yeah, they probably should have. If that's the way you feel about it. If the Steelers feel like they took Caleb Johnson, well, he's not ready to play because of what happened at Iowa. Well, then why did you draft him? Like, that's not his fault, what Iowa did. and it's not the Steelers' fault, well, then why take a guy that isn't going to be ready? I mean, but that can be a different discussion for a different day. Bottom line is the Steelers got to control the line of scrimmage. They got to figure out a way to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football today, people. If they can do that, they will win the game. If they don't do that, they're not going to win. Usually I give, if, ands, or but scenarios. I'm just not counting on the Steelers getting 5 turnovers again because the Steelers did not control the line of scrimmage last week. And if they only create 3 turnovers, they get beat by the New England Patriots, probably by 2 touchdowns. But they did get the 5 turnovers. Today, they're not going to get 5 turnovers. Now, anything can happen. So I can't just sit here and say it's not going to happen. I'm just saying the likelihood of it happening again is not very strong. So the way to win, control the line of scrimmage. You got to be able to control the line of scrimmage. If you can, the Steelers will win the game. If they don't, the Steelers will lose the game. It's just that simple for me. So basically, that's where I'm putting this one. I'm putting it in to the trenches. And you can always say that basically every week, but I mean, the Steelers won the first game of the year against the Jets where they didn't control the trenches, but they found a way. Today, they have to control it. And if they do, it's a victory. If they don't, it's not. So, hey, the game, we're going to be live at the watch party. Make sure everybody's there. You see in the background over here, my wife got me some 10K subscribers. She got me some balloons to celebrate us getting over 10K, man. So that was the deal. We got over 10K at the big show, and then we are having the watch party. It's opened up to everybody. So usually it's just for our Hall of Fame members that we watch the game together. But because we got over 10K, we are opening it up for everybody to be there. So if you want to stream, watch the game, watch what I have to say, other people have to say, make sure you guys show up for the football game here in less than an hour. I will be there, man. So should be a good time. I'm expecting a really good football game by the Pittsburgh Steelers, people. So no pie in the face, Vegas, for 10K. No pie in the face. So she did get me a cake, though. She did do that. I told y'all, I've got 15 pounds to lose by Halloween. It's actually down to 13 pounds by Halloween. My wife does not help, ladies and gentlemen. She does not help. She wants me to lose the weight because she wants me to be around as long as possible. But she buys cake. She buys food. She is not a helper. She doesn't help in this endeavor of me trying to lose weight. She's got candy all over the house that I can't eat. But she loves me, but she's like, she wants to celebrate me too. So either way, I may get a picture of that and put that up on the page or something. We'll figure something out. Either way, make sure you guys show up to the watch party. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you guys are here, make sure you subscribe. You want to become a member, make sure you sign up to become a member. Again, at the Hall of Fame level, we usually do it, and I'll announce it a bunch of times at the watch party, is we watch the games over there. It's fun. It's great. No, Michelle. No, we did not. No, he did not. He did not post those push-ups. And he's in here. So y'all need to talk to the producer about posting those push-ups. He did not do that. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. I was possibly going to let it slide. But there it is. The producer did not post those push-ups. I'm glad y'all mentioned that. Don't let him slide. Don't let him get out of it. Because he'll try to weasel himself out of there. He'll try to. I'm telling you right now. I've known the man for 30 years. He'll try to weasel himself out there. Y'all got to hold him accountable. So, but yeah, that's what it is, people. Make sure you guys show up. The watch party. We're going to have a blast this morning watching this football game. And hopefully the Pittsburgh Steelers make it a real good time and making sure that it's a good party for all of us. I will see you guys over there. I appreciate everybody in here today, man. Thank you guys. Love you. Talk to you in a few. And aloha.